Welcome to Fallout Funds. Today we bring you breaking news. A greedy son accused of stealing $14 million in gold and silver from his father's Wyoming home. Lincoln County Sheriff's Detective Jody Gardner went to a home in Smoot late in the morning on May 15th, in response to a report of a substantial amount of precious metals missing from the home, according to an affidavit filed alongside Rep's criminal charges. The homeowner, Rep's father, told Gardner he had between $14 and $18 million in gold coins and at least one gold bar stolen from the home and was missing about $200,000 in cash, the affidavit says. The father reportedly said he's been investing in precious metals for 56 years, and he stored the gold throughout his home and in safes. He and his wife have lived in Smoot for about 12 years and spend their winters in Wickenburg, Arizona. Last year they left Wyoming in October, and didn't return until May 10th, he said, adding he allegedly noticed the theft the day after they got back. The father said he was certain his son Michael stole the gold and said Michael lives in Auckland, New Zealand, but returns to the United States periodically. Michael Reps was convicted of a financial crime in New Zealand in 2020, according to his father's statement to investigators and a statement by the nation's financial market authority. He said Michael had been to his home on at least one occasion but couldn't recall when that was, and he said some of Rep's children had stayed in the Smoot home the prior summer without Michael Reps. The father has 5 children from his first marriage but was adamant that Michael, not one of the others, committed the theft, the affidavit says. He told the investigator that while he was in Arizona for the winter, an anonymous caller asked an adult protection services agency to investigate his competency. The father suspected this was Michael, lashing out over the way his father's trust and will are structured, he reportedly told Gardner. Michael's younger brother was named as the executor of the trust, the affidavit relates. I noted no indication that the elder Reps had a diminished capacity during the hours I've spent with him during the course of my investigation, wrote Gardner. The father reportedly read aloud from an email in which Michael admitted to calling Adult Protective Services. Michael indicated he didn't trust his father's wife's children. The father also reported several car titles missing from his bedroom safe, including a Porsche title registered in Montana and an Airstream trailer registered in Arizona, but he could not recall the other titles that were missing, Gardner wrote. The father told Gardner all the safes in the house were locked, but there were bags of gold and silver stored elsewhere in his home reportedly. Someone may have used a key to get in, he said in response to the detective asking about signs of forced entry. The father had kept handwritten detailed instructions for his wife on how to access the precious metals and cash stored in their home, reportedly. Gardner took that document into his evidence cache. The missing cash had been in the father's bedroom safe in $150 bills, says the affidavit. The father also showed Gardner where 300 ounces of gold had reportedly been stashed. The father also took Gardner down to the spacious and unfinished basement of the home, where a significant amount of food storage sat among the organized and uncluttered space, Gardner observed. Another safe sat empty. The father said it had contained several hundred ounces of gold and 200 ounces of Canadian silver coins, all gone, the affidavit says. If you didn't have prior knowledge or the instructions he wrote for his wife, you would never know a safe was there, Gardner related from the father's interview. Gardner took the metal plate that had once covered the safe door into evidence. A gun safe in a separate part of the basement also was open. The father said there had been 700 ounces of gold coins stored in 4 canvas bags inside it, reportedly. One bag contained 300 ounces and bore the name of one of the father's daughters. Another bag contained 200 ounces of gold and was marked with his stepson's name. Another contained 100 ounces of gold, marked off for Michael, and another contained 100 ounces marked with another name. But all bags were gone, the affidavit says. Stock certificates also were allegedly missing from the father's bedroom. A Homeland Security Investigations agent reported Michael had arrived in the United States from New Zealand on September 14th and remained in the country until May 2nd. Michael arrived back in the U.S. again 2 weeks later, the affidavit says. Gardner touched base with an investigator at the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department and obtained photos of Michael's Las Vegas home and 2 vehicles. It appears that the burglary was targeted and very specific, wrote Gardner. The person appeared to know where to find the treasure, and the theft of the vehicle titles made the act look personal, he added. Other than the guns, gold, and money allegedly taken, nothing else was disturbed. Michael bought his home in Las Vegas on December 12 for $380,000 reportedly. The person who sold it to him has an extensive criminal history, including grand theft and theft of rare coins and fencing stolen property, the affidavit says. This seller later told Gardner that Michael tried to buy the home with gold, but that he wanted cash. Gardner reportedly received cell phone data from Michael's phone June 1st. Michael's phone had not been used to make or receive any phone calls or texts between October 25, 2023 and May 10, 2024 in Lincoln County, which was the rough window of the alleged burglary. Gardner clarified, "This just means the device was not used, not that it was not present." The investigator also noticed 136 alleged calls between Michael's phone and a phone number associated with a Fresno, California gold broker. The gold broker reportedly confirmed for Gardner that he'd been buying gold from Michael, and he handed over receipts for the exchanges, plus text message exchanges between the two from this past winter and spring. Out of concern that Gardner was investigating him, the home seller contacted Gardner reportedly, but as the conversation developed, the home seller described going to a gold broker in Las Vegas to test the quality of Michael's gold. Michael had reportedly told the home seller that he, Michael, got the gold by selling cryptocurrency. Gardner obtained receipts from the coin gallery and learned that both the home seller and Michael had exchanged gold for money there, the affidavit says. The document lists exchanges totaling $3,193,105, with two of those receipts, comprising $666,516, in the home seller's name, and the rest in Michael's name. These exchanges reportedly involved gold eagles, gold buffaloes, American gold, platinum eagles, gold sovereigns, and Swiss French francs. The gold buyer reportedly showed Gardner text message exchanges, including attachments depicting wire transfers from his bank account to Michael's on multiple occasions. Gardner and Wyoming Division of Criminal Investigation Special Agent Roy Warren traveled to Las Vegas together on June 6, talked with the city's detectives, and obtained a search warrant for Michael's address. With the help of the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department's SWAT team, the pair executed the search warrant the next day, the document says. They found a black duffel bag containing several hundred ounces of silver coins, allegedly. The next day they learned Michael had entered Nevada and was on his way to Las Vegas. Las Vegas police set up surveillance around Michael's home, while the two Wyoming agents traveled to another address with which Michael was reportedly associated. They searched that address as well with a search warrant, says the affidavit. Meanwhile, the local authorities arrested Michael. Gardner and another agent interviewed Michael, who was reportedly read his Miranda rights beforehand. The affidavit relates that Michael said his stepmother manipulated and exploited his father, and that this issue was not about banks or money, but about family. He said he took the money not out of greed, but to protect his family. He also voiced concern for his own brother and sister who were suffering from serious health conditions and were at risk of not having the financial support they required, the document relates from that interview. Michael allegedly admitted to going to Smoot on about November 22, 2023, and taking about $12 million worth of gold and silver. He said he didn't take any guns. If he inadvertently took vehicle titles or stocks, he'd return them, the affidavit relates. As for the money he sold to the coin gallery, the amount he received in return was less than his projected inheritance, Michael reportedly said. Gardner wrote that Michael also tried to negotiate with investigators. He said he wanted his father to drop any charges against him and to engage a third-party mediator to prevent his father's wife from exploiting him, Michael reportedly said. He indicated he'd disclose the location of the other gold in exchange, the affidavit says. Michael was courteous and generally cooperative throughout the interview, Gardner recalled. Eventually, he admitted the remaining treasure was in a commercial vault in a Las Vegas facility. Detectives received a search warrant for the vault and found about 380 pounds of gold and 333 pounds of silver, more than $14 million in value, the affidavit says. Michael is being held on a $50,000 cash-only bond, his court file says. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you and God bless you.